What's up, you guys? This is Zay Brooks, and this is episode 38 of a show I do not know the title to yet. Today, what I wanted to talk about is the faster we can learn to completely ignore people's feelings and projections upon us, the better we are. It's just really been dawning on me that people's assumptions about you, about who you want to be, their thoughts about you, their opinions on you, none of it matters. And it's like, okay, yeah, Zay, I get that. Like, cliche way of saying, yeah, nobody else's opinion should matter. No. The part that I'm trying to get you to understand is, in my life, right, I've seen success in being an entrepreneur and getting paid to be me, right? There are, I've graduated past the idea of being judged or misinterpreted based on me starting out, right? A lot of people are scared to start simply because, they'll have people that say, oh, you're a content person now, you're an influencer now, like this is what you do now. And then it stops you and self-sabotages you from trying to take that first step and being somebody, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I think people forget that even when you start to make it and show success, you think that the opinions and their perceptions of reality, you think those fade because the credibility of you actually being somebody would change that or make it go away. And I'm here to tell you that even when you reach a certain amount of success, there will always be people that love to project their reality, their opinions, their assumptions upon you, thinking that they have all the answers or that they understand the context of what's going on with who you are, what you're about, and then think they can speak on it. And at first, and even sometimes right now, I still will be bothered by those opinions, those assumptions. But I have to realize that, there's two things to understand. One, they don't understand my life. They only see things as what I show them, the content that I do or the times that I step out and say things or whatever, right? They only see a certain part of, my life or the content that I create. And the second thing is, the projection aspect of it. A lot of people project their insecurities, their shortcomings, their coping mechanisms onto other people. And so who am I to be emotionally affected by thoughts and assumptions that hold no weight, but are also coming from a place where I don't understand where it's coming from? Or if I did have some understanding, it would be from insecurity or shortcoming or a projection of their reality onto yours. I think that's a great point in saying, all the times we go on social media, right, and you see these comments, it's like everybody thinks they know the situation or they know the context. No, you only see the 30 to 60 seconds of what's going on inside the video, and you think you have this grand understanding of somebody's relationship or someone's content strategy or the intentionality of the video. I don't know, it's just really been dawning on me, and it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And I'm super thankful for the mentors and the people that I have in my life where they're a few steps ahead of me in terms of, getting their first property or having, reaching towards financial freedom or working with bigger brands. And so I think, it's my job to make sure that I'm letting you guys know, for the younger people in here or the people that are just starting out creating their business, creating their personal brand or, their social media page, the perception and assumptions and opinions and all that buzz talk in your ear, it doesn't stop. It just changes people. It goes from, oh, people I know, okay, yeah, they have assumptions and opinions on me, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you starting off your influencer. But then once those go away, because they understand of who you are, you have this next incoming group of people, which are random individuals that so-called enjoy your content, but love to make opinions and assumptions that ultimately hold no weight. I forgot the saying. Maybe I pop it up right here. But it's assumptions are the lowest form of human currency. Because they hold no weight and they have no context and they have no understanding of what it's like to be in the other person's shoes. And then it says empathy is the highest form of communication because it sets aside yourself and puts you in the mind of someone else about how they're doing or how they're feeling. And it allows you to speak with love and light, I just think social media is a place where a lot of stuff gets pushed out, a lot of information, a lot of good things come from it, right? I get paid from social media. But, there are goods and bads. There's yin and yangs to everything. So, and I'm not just saying that for you if you want to become a social media channel or a person of interest on the internet. This is something that having to do with your business. Let's say you open up a restaurant, right? You're going to have reviews of somebody, oh, he didn't bring my water fast enough. Oh, he didn't do this. He didn't say hi when I walked in. Anybody can make a reason. That's like the public forum. That's public opinion. But I'm here to say you should do your best to not have that emotionally trigger you, because there are no bounds. There's no weight to what they're saying. What matters is your intentionality, your desire, your chief definite aim, your burning desire, your unwavering faith. And after that, after you come to terms with yourself, right, believing in yourself, having confidence in yourself, the next thing you need to do is trust, and I've said this time and time again, have people that you trust their creative opinion, their assumptions, their projections or whatever, right? Because not all projections are bad, right? If I walk around and, in my life, on the inside, it's terrible, I have a job that I don't like, I spend a lot of the times 8 hours a day not doing what I want to do, and then I get to spend 8 where I'm tired, so then I'm lazy, and then I understand that I'm lazy, so my life is like this cycle of unwanted suffering that I end up putting on myself because I don't believe that I can change my reality. I have to settle for the reality that I'm in. Therefore, I'm going to go on the internet and project my reality, my misery onto other people, right? You have to make sure you don't trust people like that, trusting their opinions. That could self-sabotage a lot of things, and I've talked about that before, but really trusting certain people's creative opinion, I think that does matter. And, you choose the wrong people, you're doomed to doom. So in any case, once you have these people's opinions that you trust and you understand, I would just ignore the rest. Like, fuck everybody else. And I know it's hard because sometimes you'll read the comments or you'll be on Yelp for the restaurant issue, or you have a business and you're looking at the Google reviews and you have these opinions, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, that will mess up my whole day. That's not even true. I can't believe you would say something like that. You don't understand the context of my life and the job, and we were going through a whole bunch of things. It was rush hour. How could you tell me that I wasn't saying hi when lo and behold, I was making sure 55 people in 15 minutes got their, really just trusting certain people's opinions, that will take you so much farther. And then just looking at public opinion like entertainment. You'll end up finding yourself laughing at a lot of things. And that's what I try to catch myself doing. Not to cope and be like, oh, that's funny, you don't know what you're talking about. You have all the right to have that opinion. It just has no influence on me. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. That's why it's such a low form of currency. Assumptions is another thing. Everyone's entitled to assume the way they feel about the world. And yes, our subconscious mind makes up the world, but believe it or not, the assumptions that you make with yourself end up keeping you binded in a reality filled with limitations, filled with negativity, filled with the opposite of love and light, filled with projecting your reality onto other people, and now you're just this contagious cycle of negative energy. And a lot of people will mask that as trolling. Oh, now I'm trolling you. Oh, I'm trolling people on the internet. Oh, I'm trolling my homies, my family. You troll everybody. Your life is just full of jokes. Your reality is full of making other people feel bad, and then once they feel bad enough and they shoot back and they're like, they fight back, they're like, man, that was mean or that was rude. Oh, I'm just trolling. For a lot of my youngins out there, be wary of the trolls. Those people project their reality onto you and call it trolling. And you just got to do your best to look at that as entertainment. And that's what I do. And I think that frustrates them even more. But again, their feelings, their whatever has nothing to do with me. Again, it's like, if I do feel some type of way, I'd rather you go vent it to somebody that has a public opinion that you trust. Or not a public, but has an opinion or assumptions or whatever. Those are the people that you can go and vent to and talk to, and then now you have a community of a safe space of people that you can genuinely trust, and their opinion and their assumptions and their projection of reality truly does matter to you. I don't think that energy should be wasted on people that you are. I'm giving you the game here, right? I don't have all the answers, but from my anecdotal experience in my mid-20s, these are something that a lot of young and old people experience. And it's like taking that next step to become who you are. People have a regular 9-to-5 job, a regular person, and other people's assumptions self-sabotage their life, right? And they don't have, they're not going against public opinion or in the public forum. It gets even worse when not only the people around you are sabotaging and trolling, but then people on the internet are so-called trolling too. So, I think it's all that to say. Just make sure you really trust where you choose to let your feelings go from I keep saying public opinion, but from opinion, from assumptions, from projections of reality. I have no idea where this person's coming from on their comments. Why would I ever begin to try to understand them and then feel emotional about what they're saying to me about my content? No, that's just funny. You're a comedy. That shit is comical, And it's funny, the people that troll, they want it to be funny, but they want you to actually be authentically, emotionally affected, and that's where they get their kicks. That's why I've never really understood trolling like that. I've never understood it. Like, they're shooting the shit and like having fun, but then like trolling is a completely different thing. So this is not going to be the title talking about trolling. It's going to be something along the lines of, assumptions and perceptions of reality hold no weight. What really matters is what's going on inside, what's going on in your mind, what you truly believe to be true, and then the people surrounding you. The people that you choose to be in your life. Those are the ones that are far more important than what anybody else could say about who it is that you're trying to become. I'll say this really quick. I'm back in New York. It's summer right now, and the weather is just beautiful right now. I am in Madison Square Park, right next to the Flatiron building. It's right over there. I'm looking at it, and I do my best to find gratitude as much as I can. And although your life can be stressful and painful and negative and all these things, when you look back on it, some of the hardest times that I've had in life, they're so nostalgic, and I've truly enjoyed them. So all that to say, make sure you smell the roses whether you're in a good or a bad situation in your mind. Because who knows what you're supposed to learn from these trials and tribulations, and who knows what you're supposed to have, in terms of mindfulness and the highs, versus the lessons that you need to learn in the lows. So just being thankful through it all, like even finding 5 to 15 seconds throughout your day to just take 3 deep breaths and express to God how thankful you are. I think just doing that alone opens up a lot of paths, a lot of opportunities to be the best version of yourself, and to have opportunities and blessings that just naturally come your way. There is like a lot of stuff going on behind me, and so I will say New York is like one of the most distracting places. Like, there's so much life, there's so many things going on. It's like everybody's doing their own thing, and at the same time like paying attention to no one. Like, I'm sitting here making a video, and like everybody's just having their life, like doing their thing, like living their life. The energy in New York is something that I truly can't explain. So my advice to you is, if you ever have the opportunity to come out here and just walk around, just walk from Times Square all the way down to Flatiron, explore as much as you can. This place is beautiful. So I'm so thankful. 2-3 years ago, I would have never imagined that I could be living here half the time, and the other half I'm living in San Francisco. Who knows what can take place in your life. The limitations that you set in your life ultimately self-sabotage you. So, and furthermore, the opinions of other people, their perceptions, their projections, all that jazz, that can self-sabotage you as well to set limitations on your own life. You could be a person who genuinely feels like you can be Mark Cuban. You can be the next singer, rapper, actor, content creator. It doesn't matter. You feel like you can be that next person, but simply because other people's projections of their shortcomings on your reality can influence you to never become the person you were meant to be. Now that is something that I find super scary. You can have all the pieces, all the intangibles, the mindset. You read the book, you read books, right? You're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing to be the highest version of yourself. Someone else's opinion, their projection of their reality on you can influence you to never even take that step, to completely stop because you believe somebody else's opinion. That doesn't mean a rat's ass to you. Or maybe you're just choosing the wrong people and they do mean something to you, but they shouldn't, especially when it comes to comments about that. You can have certain people in your life for certain things. I have friends that I have where I just strictly want to have fun, grab a few beers, sit back and play games, right? But then there's also people that I talk to about very serious things, my career, my future, being the best version of myself, being the best, partner I can be, being the best whatever. There are different situations and conversations for different friends. You have to make sure you really choose wisely who you're listening to. Kanye said, "I will never listen to somebody less successful than me." Someone can take that very seriously and say, wow, how ignorant that is. A janitor could have some sort of opinion. I think the main point that he was trying to make is, when it comes to my career, when it comes to being the best version of myself, the biggest rapper in the world, the biggest business owner, clothing brand owner, why would I listen to the opinion of someone that has no idea what I'm going through, doesn't understand the context of my life? Somebody that's more successful than me, they probably do share a lot of the trials and tribulations that I'm going through. So of course I would much rather listen to somebody that's a few steps ahead of me rather than somebody that's nowhere near where I am in my ballpark. To me, that's what it says. So, or what he's saying. And on these videos that I have, sometimes I'll scroll and I'll just see people make these comments, and in my head I'm like, you have no grounds. All you have is your opinion. So it's like, could you imagine somebody who has a messed up day, and then it's like they want to go out and make these comments, and then you just blatantly ignore them? It's like, it's a lot easier to do, a lot more meaningful in person when they try to troll you and then you ignore them. They understand and reflect a lot easier. But on the internet, it's such a place where, you know, you're scrolling in so many videos, you can comment something super negative and then move on with your life, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. But yet the person that you did that to really feels that, you know. And I think, you know, me as a person that's felt that before, I have to do my best to conserve my energy, my life force, and not spend it on reviewing comments about trolls. You know, that doesn't make any sense. And so this is just me being honest with you guys. Like, I could sit here and be like, oh, those people don't affect me, but they do. You know, I feel like I'm a very in tune, sensitive person with my emotions. Am I sitting here crying off those comments? No, not even close. But it does emotionally affect me, and I have to check myself. Do I use that energy to be emotionally affected by that, or do I just use it as entertainment? And if I feel some type of way, I can express that to people that I trust. It's not like I'm lonely. Oh, I can't listen to anybody's opinions and assumptions now. No, there are people that you can place in your life. You are the CEO of your own life. There are people that you can trust. And those are the people that you should go to vent, to ask for reflection. Sorry, I had to cut that. I'm just coughing in front of your face. There are people that you can go to vent and allow yourself to be transparent and have feelings and really be affected by the words that they say, you know. And just because you trust them one time, they could say something else where you're like, man, you know, I don't really resonate with that. And honestly, I can't take that in my life right now. Like, I enjoy your presence, I enjoy your opinions, but that doesn't mean you always have to listen to them. There's not an obligation to where you get your creative opinion. That can change every single day. You can listen to somebody completely new every time. You just have to make sure you have the discernment to know where it is that I want to hear things that can influence my journey, my process to becoming the greatest version of myself. It's so crazy how other people's opinions can really ruin you. And your perception of other people's feelings may not even exist, and yet that stops you from becoming who you want to be. Assumptions, perceptions, opinions, they literally mean nothing. Nothing. They only give meaning when you choose it to. Some people, all they have left is their opinion. Understand that. Some people's lives are just so not good, and I don't want to harp on other people. Well, I get that. I understand that. Don't want to just sit here and harp on people, but that's something only people have left is their opinion. Their life is so trash, all they do is just project their shortcomings onto other people, onto their reality, onto other videos, onto other people, you know? It's a cycle of abundance, it's a cycle of scarcity, it's a cycle of positivity and love and light, and the positivity of the opposite, you know? Just be mindful. Always be mindful of those things. You know, with this show, you know, we're 38 episodes in, and this is something that I still want to do. I still have the motivation for it. You know, honestly, a lot of things take time, and I understand that. So by me just being the truest version of myself and trying to give thought-provoking concepts and things that you can resonate with in your own life, that's all I could ever do. No matter if I change one person's life or soon to be 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. And maybe it's not even me. Maybe it's the comments in the public forum in these videos that allow people to spread love, light, and positivity towards each other. The email that I have in the description for you guys to create some sort of back and forth things I can talk about on here. I just want this to be a place where people can truly feel limitless, living without limitations. That's the biggest thing that I want from my community. So it doesn't mean that you're always feeling limitless, right? You could have moments of, you know, doubt, which everybody has, or moments of being self-conscious about the perceptions of your friends or your parents or you know, whoever in your life. I know I want this community to be a place that is just awesome, and it's all in due time, and we're growing every single day. I'm super thankful for you guys, and you know, even right now with making this video, I don't care how other people feel about me making this video. I know that my intentionality is to bring something positive into your life, something that you can really grasp and make yourself a better person. With knowing that, I don't really care about anything else that's going on. I don't care about anybody else's opinions, perceptions, assumptions about who I am and what I'm doing right now, because I know that I'm living in truth and trying to be somebody that positively affects other people. So if you've watched a lot of these videos or you're watching this one, you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you. I still want to do a guided meditation here, but It truly means a lot, and you guys are here at the very beginning. So this is something that I want to do for the next 30 years. I swear to you, I want to be old man and be like, man, crazy the videos I was doing in my mid-20s. Now I'm 40 years old here. Like, what do I want to talk about? Like, that's going to be so insane. But anyways, yeah. So what I want to do is a guided meditation. So if you can find somewhere on the ground, somewhere on your bed, wherever feels comfortable. And what I want to do is take 3 deep breaths. So close your eyes and breathe in. And breathe out. I'm going to do this 2 more times. In. And out. One more time. In. And out. Now what I want you to do, keep your eyes closed. And I want you to visualize your dream version of yourself. The dream version of yourself. The body, the mind, the career, the job. I'm just going to give you about 60 seconds. Keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth and visualize the highest version. Now what I want you to ask yourself is, what is the difference between who I am now and the person that I just visualized? Be real with yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Why? There has to be some sort of reason. And furthermore, if anything you just said is, well, I haven't had the opportunity or the money or the time or those are all excuses. And not only that, those are all limitations as to why you can't become who it is that you want to be. Keep your eyes closed. Understand this. There is nothing stopping you from being who it is that you want to be except yourself. I promise you, I am a living testament. God wants to see you. Take that leap of faith into being the person you've always wanted to become, and God will help you along the way. I promise you. But you have to take that first step, and that sometimes just means enriching your level of self-accountability, self-discipline. Sometimes it's just taking that first step to changing your diet, going on a run, finally sitting down and writing the plan of your business, your idea, how you're going to get to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it is. You have to take that first step. God is not a genie. Please keep your eyes closed. God is not a genie. God is a gap filler. He does things while you're striving with that chief definite aim, burning desire, and wavering faith, and you're asleep. He's making stuff happen in order for you to take full advantage of opportunities that come your way. God is not some sort of genie that's just going to bless you with this opportunity, bless you with this lifestyle, bless you with this money. Why do you think so many people play the lottery? Because they think they can get something from nothing. There is such thing in the universe called the law of equivalent exchange. What you give mentally, spiritually, and physically to your dreams, there is a physical equivalent. The biggest thing that I talk about on this show, having a chief definite aim, a burning desire, and unwavering faith in the physical equivalent is inevitable. What you get in is what you put out. And that doesn't mean you work from 9 to 9 for 10 years and you finally get it. A lot of the things that you can do is inner work. Emotional work, spiritual work, mental work. Those are all still hours that you put in as well. As above, so below. As within, so without. There is nothing stopping you from being the highest version of yourself. Understand that. There's one thing to take away from my show. It's that. Live without limitations. Anything and everything is truly, truly possible. You can open your eyes now. Appreciate you guys. Sorry if it was loud. Like I said, I'm in New York. I'm in the middle of a city in a park, so there's a lot of stuff going on. But nonetheless, some of you guys have sent feedback of the videos bringing positivity into your life, and that's all I could ever ask for. So I have the email in these bios of these videos. If you guys want to say anything, truly, positive, negative, neutral feedback. It's all appreciated, everything. I'm kind of just doing this hoping that people are just quietly, not hoping, knowing that people are just quietly, positively being influenced by this. So, I'm thankful, and I'm going to keep doing this because I love doing it. So, I'm here for you guys, truly. All right. Life is good. Life is truly, truly good. Walk outside, breathe some air, be thankful. Life is good. I swear to you, it is. And start saying that out loud. Say that to yourself more often. Start speaking light into your life, speaking outwards positivity. Stop speaking negatively. Oh, I'm having this kind of day, or I'm having this kind of life, or my job is this, or start speaking positivity. You cast spells out of your mouth into the ether, which is your reality. Speak love and light and positivity if you're going to say anything. If you have anything negative, those thoughts, do not speak them out loud. Keep those inside and say, those are not my thoughts. I do not resonate with those thoughts. I choose to resonate with the positivity in my life, the manifestation of becoming the person of my dreams. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one.